Hello, 10Xers. Hey, how you doing? Ryan J here. How fire was day 8? Oh man. Every recap and every time I'm paying attention to one of these days with the 10X challenge just keeps getting better and better and better. Today, Grant went through 6 steps. I don't know. I'll just list them out. Then we went through 6 more steps on big thinking. So that's cool. And then he had a special guest and coach, teach, trainer, Pete Vargas. And Pete is awesome. This is 4th or 5th time I've seen him speak. He's wonderful. Matter of fact, he had a challenge earlier this year that I went through. Pete's awesome. And the big takeaway of today was people, relationships, collaborations, people as currency, and just being nice to one another, and like linking arms and doing it together. That was like the big overall idea. That's what I took away. And yesterday as well kind of hinted at the big takeaway is people and relationships. So let's start off with Pete. And within this year, he's had to pivot to virtual stages. All right, back when you could meet before pre-zombie apocalypse, he did like big productions. Not as the guy, but like setting, hosting it. So like, I'm sure he and Grant worked together because he would put together and orchestrate live events. Since the pandemic, he's focused on virtual events, and it was known today that virtual events are far more wide and reaching. And so that's super cool. He used OPS, other people's stages, all right, which is cool, which kind of segues into like yesterday's message where, or actually for me personally, my big takeaway is to think bigger. And so in January, I'm holding my own, what am I calling it? Oh, the Massive Life-Changing Value Global Reach Virtual Summit. I'm going to do my own virtual stage. So if you're interested in anything like that and have value or some knowledge, or you want to share your vision, hopes, or dreams, get at me in the comments. We'll have a chat. Maybe I can put you on one of my virtual stages coming up in January and we can share it. That's what we're talking about here, sharing the stage. So I'm going to do one in January. If you want to be a part of it, get in the comments. Let's talk about it. All right. So the virtual events and the stages, when they say stages, it's like this, what we're in right now, a challenge. This would be a virtual stage. Now, Grant has his going on Facebook, Zoom, and YouTube. All right, well, that's utilizing a whole bunch of platforms. That's what he's talking about. So he's reaching more people in one sitting than he could ever pack into however many folks he can fit in Vegas, whether it's 10, 30,000, or fill a Coliseum. He's still reaching more people. So I don't think the virtual platform is going away anytime soon. It's actually just taking root and hold now because of the pandemic we're in. So that's good news for us. Now we can like start stretching our wings and thinking bigger and doing this ourselves. Cool. All right, let's get into the 6 steps that Grant laid out right from the beginning. And Number one was grow the top line, manage the bottom line. Don't put so much effort into managing the bottom line. Grow the top line. And the top line would be, as I understand it, like expanding your reach and with people, with events like this, with holding your own event or challenge, reaching more people, expanding your vision, coming up with new ideas, implementing them, taking action on them, worrying about the direction you're going, who you're reaching, how you're marketing them, and don't worry so much about the numbers and managing the bottom intricate stuff, you know. So another part of the top line is the people, your exposure, your marketing, how I take it. Grow your income. That he listed two things, your income or your expenses. Usually expenses are fixed expenses and you can only get them so low. And he used 0 as the number. You can only get your expenses down to 0. But the growing your income is, well, infinite, you know. So put forward effort into the top line, growing your income, growing your sales. The number 3 was income is power. Growing your income, you got more, you got the cash register ringing more often, more money in the bank, more opportunity to make that money work for you, whether that be in marketing or hiring out some tasks that take away from your time where you can focus on the bigger picture and the vision. You know, more money in the bank. And by hiring out the things that are boring to you, like cleaning the house, doing the laundry, washing the car, or maybe it's accounting, or maybe it's running your social media. You know, hiring out the $10 an hour tasks or $100 an hour tasks. You know, getting a virtual assistant to do those tasks for you frees up your time so that you can focus on the bigger picture, which is the vision of the company and where you're going and growing the top line. So the income is power. You can't grow anything thinking small. That's why we're in this 10X challenge. Uncle G is a master at the 10X thing and just the powerhouse when it comes to being a social media influencer, a real estate guru. He's very, very knowledgeable and has a lot of wisdom behind him from his years and years of experience. We plug into that via this 10X because we want to emulate his actions. So thinking bigger, and that's a mindset thing. We covered that in day 1. If you want a recap on that, I did a recap on day 1. It's on my YouTube. I'll put this video up on YouTube as well. Then we talked about people not costing money, and that kind of confused me for a second there. People don't cost money. Well, you got to hire them, which, you know, is an hourly wage or a yearly wage or something like that. But I think where he was going with people don't cost money is, yes, it's an expense. Actually, here are 2 ways he was going with people don't cost money. In the relationship aspect, and yes, it may be an expense to hire somebody, but then again, that is freeing up your time to do what you do best, which is your vision, the knowledge, and where you want to go with your company. The relationship part is people don't cost money, is to collaborate with somebody, being like, hey, how you doing? My name's Ryan J. In January, I'm going to be doing a virtual event, you know, worldwide, kind of like this. It's going to be called the Massive Life-Changing Value, what did I call it? Global Reach Virtual Summit. It's not going to cost you anything if you want to be a part of it. get in the comments below, and we'll reach out and have a conversation and see what kind of value we can provide each other. See, providing value to each other, not just like, hey, buy my thing, hey, buy my thing. For that type of relationship right there, that's not costing, well, it's going to cost me, but whatever, I'm generous, I'll share it with you. Just bring me some value. See, that is no cost to you. That's what we're talking about when it's people don't cost money. Then we went into thinking big, and there's, bam, 6 takeaways from thinking big. Association. Man. Association is super powerful. That's thinking or getting around people that think bigger. Bigger, bolder, people that don't settle. Don't surround yourself with people that have settled, because we have more ambition than that. So we should hang out. Well, don't hang out with your neighbor that doesn't have any ambition. That makes no sense. You know, you're not aligned in the direction you're going. Oh, and plus, here's another thing about association. Your parents always told you, don't hang out with that kid down the street. He's bad news. Well, they knew that who you hang out with is kind of who you end up to be. So if you have that choice, and we all do, highly recommended, yeah, hang out with go-getters, big dreamers, and people that will lift you up. Association. Focusing on the wrong targets. Focusing on the minute details. You're focusing on the wrong things. This was number 2. Oh, shoot. Number 2, focusing on the wrong things and the wrong targets, and putting more of your time into growing the top line, your association, and working on your relationships and collaborations. That would be a pretty decent target to have. Also, of course, sales and growing the income. Don't worry about where the copier sits in the office and when the last time the ink has been checked. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter at all. Shouldn't even be a worry or a concern to you. Matter of fact, that's one of the things you need to hire out. Hiring mistakes. Okay, I get this as you're going to hire people so that it frees up your time, so that you delegate the things that you're not good at or the things that you don't want to do. Delegate them to somebody else. Hire somebody else to do it. Somebody else would love to do that for you. Thus, freeing up your time for sales, for the top, or for growing the top line, for relationships that really, truly matter. Disjointed culture. Keep people on task. Keep people wanting to be around you by creating a loving, inviting, and focus-driven culture, so that, when they step into the room, they know what's expected. Nobody likes to be berated, unless maybe you're some sort of masochist or something like that. People want to be heard, understood, loved on, and part of the team. Create that culture, you'll keep people coming back and with joy to be around you. Make sales a priority, no brainer. No commitment. Like, are you committed? Are we committed? I'm committed. This is day 8. All right, without fail, I've been here. I have committed myself to paying attention to this training. I have committed myself to doing a daily recap, putting it in the group. Hopefully it brings value. I'm committed to this. I'm committed to growth. I'm learning and all that. Are you? You got to have the commitment to yourself. That's the most important. Don't expect somebody else on your team to have the same commitment as you, because it's your dreams. It would be unrealistic to hold anybody else on your team, if you're the ringleader, to the same amount of commitment that you have. So that's that. All right, again, man, another fire day 8. This was excellent. I hope you were able to get value from this. And again, massive life-changing value, global reach, virtual summit coming up in January. If you want to be a part of it, get in my DM or leave me a comment and we'll hash out the deets. Till next time, how does it go? May the odds forever be in your favor. Bye.